I have these two pieces of oak. I want to join them like this, with the thinnest piece centered on this face of the other piece. And I want to make a through mortise and tenon joint. This piece is 27 mm thick. I could cut an 8 mm thick tenon, the diameter of this bit, some less than a third of the piece thickness, and then I could use this bit to cut the mortise. But because this piece is quite thick and I will cut the mortise there, I will cut a 10 mm thick tenon, the diameter of this bit. I have another piece that is the same thick as the thinnest one, about 27 mm. I set the marking gauge to 13.5 mm, and I mark the center in one end of this piece. Both marks should coincide one on the other, but there is something like half millimeter between both marks, not a problem. I put the 10 mm drill bit in the drill press. I have this simple table with one strip on it. I have inserted one screw in one end of the strip so I can move it. I put my workpiece on the table, and I move both the workpiece and the strip together until the bit point is right in the middle between the two marks I've made with the marking gauge. I clamp the end of the strip, and I drill a hole. And now I need this distance. So I set the marking gauge so the pin is tangent to the hole I've drilled. It should be tangent from both sides. So now I can mark the tenon in the head of the strip. Now I mark the length of the tenon. And I mark that length all around the strip. And I also use the marking gauge to mark the tenon thickness and width. And I mark the lines with a pencil so I can see them better. And now I already can cut the tenon with my homemade jigsaw table. To cut there, I put the blade to that side of the line, and I put this face of the blade as near this line as I can. And to cut there, I put the blade to that side of the line, and I put this face of the blade as near this line as I can. And I cut. When cutting hardwood, it is not easy to keep the workpiece against the table. It jumps, and I can feel how much effort the jigsaw needs to cut, so I cannot press too much the workpiece against the blade. I must cut slowly. Let's speed the video up. Now I will use the crosscut sled to cut the sides of the strip. And this is the tenon. Well, it is not the nicest tenon. The problem is that it took me a lot of time to cut this tenon, and the jigsaw had to make a lot of effort. So I think this is not a good way to cut hardwood tenons. Besides that, I've cut half millimeter away from the lines. So now I have to adjust the dimensions of the tenon so it fits in the mortise I made. Here we can see the tenon is too thick. And it is also too wide. I clamp the tenon, and I use a chisel to adjust the dimensions so it fits in the mortise. Maybe this is not the best way to adjust a tenon, but it is a fast way. I cut a thin layer of wood all around the tenon, and I round the corners. I think if I had cut the tenon by hand, now I would remove less wood. It is too tight, but if I hit it hard, it will enter. Well, cutting hardwood tenons with the jigsaw table was not a great idea. In the next video, we'll see how I've cut the mortise with the drill press. Now I am not sure I will be able to take these pieces apart. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and to share the video. And remember that you can find all my woodworking videos in my channel in YouTube. And thanks for subscribing to my channel.